And we're live. Welcome to the Writer's Life, a place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life and publishing and all that sort of stuff, and relationships. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button and tap that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on even one exciting video. I gotta shift this so you can see all the great things I've done. Right? That's better. So I've talked about this subject before, relationships, and it's just that I exchanged a couple of emails with a good friend of mine about relationships and stuff like that. And I don't know how I put it, but just I mentioned, like basically I was talking about like where I've been successful with, having lots of dates and things like that. That's not exactly how I put it, but and she just came back with like, well, a woman needs to feel special and and wanted and cared for and all those kinds of things, right? I suppose we all do to an extent, right? And she's right. The problem a lot of writers have is that we live in our own little world, our own little bubble, our own little shell. We like things to go our way or it's the highway. Many of us, not all. I know a bunch of writers who have maintained a steady relationship, with their wives. They have grandchildren now and the whole bit. I ain't one of them, and right now I'm not even close. Kind of like my Steve Jobs character. I'm just still having fun. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Or it could also mean like, I haven't grown up yet. Kind of getting up there for not having grown up. But anyway, fun is fun. But writers like to maintain an air of independence. We want to be able to go where we want to go, when we want to go to it, as long as the money's there and the opportunity's there, at the drop of a hat. Pack the backpack, see you in a month. That doesn't work for a lot of people. It doesn't work for a lot of relationships. And I should even include like friendships, like male to male friendships, right? Like I made the mistake of inviting a friend to Turkey, who I thought was a friend anyway. By the end of it, like we weren't speaking, and that's just putting it nicely. He wasn't up for that kind of a trip, and I wasn't up for the bullshit that went on. And I could take like a certain amount of something, and then I just explode. That's just the way I am. Then I just lose it. But anyway, so not only are my female male relationships tough to come by or tough to make. I shouldn't say they're tough to come by because anybody can date and all that sort of stuff, and even find someone you love and who loves you back no matter what. I sort of have that relationship with somebody, but it's a little bit complicated. But it's the maintaining of that relationship. It's keeping it going no matter what. I guess it's tough to find someone who loves you unconditionally when the conditions suck. if you get my meaning. I guess that's why Mailer had like 8 wives. Hemingway had 4. So many writers have had multiple wives, same for the female writers. They've had multiple husbands and the whole bit. It's very tough to be with a writer because even when we're not writing, we're writing in our head. And, so it's tough. I wouldn't wish, anyone, I wouldn't wish my daughter to marry a writer, I guess. Unless he was perfect for her, if that's what she wants. Great. my buddy Les Egerton, he actually married a woman and like within the hour left her. That's his story. He Les says that they got married and she said something like, "Oh, I'm getting his tickets to the opera," and he was like, "I'm not doing that." And they started fighting, and he got in the car, took off, divorce. Like, I don't think the marriage lasted an hour. Maybe it was, like a couple hours or something. But I laugh at this stuff. I probably shouldn't. I should probably take these things much more seriously because I don't want to be alone forever. I'd like to, enjoy the benefits of a stable relationship one day. Who wouldn't? Although, when I hear about the nightmares that go on in the suburbs and the cheating and the deception and the sexless marriages and the one of the spouses has spent all the money and hasn't told the other one yet, and they still belong to the country club and all that sort of stuff, or one person married the other for money only, and thought they could learn to love the person, but they've just it's just become a bigger and bigger nightmare. When I hear those stories, I feel kind of lucky that I have the life that I have. And you can't have everything, right? It's like the Stones song, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. That's why I like Californication so much. I so identify with Hank sometimes. He's just unlucky in love, and relationships, and the one woman who he does love, he just can't hang on to. He just, she's always slipping through his fingers. Of course that shows a fantasy, but I identify with it for sure. Anyway, all right, we got somebody chiming in. Let's answer some questions. It's the Big Philly Man. For me, my brother is my best friend. I have 2 sons and a ton of other buddies. I have 2 sons too. Otherwise, aside from the occasional stripper, I'm a loner. 2 ex-wives are enough for me now. I'm in the same boat. 2 sons, they're like my buddies. I haven't done the occasional stripper thing yet, but nothing's beyond me, especially if it's for research. Yeah, I agree with it. Like just keep it the way it is for now. I know several dudes who stopped being friends due to buddy trips, doing buddy trips they took. Yeah, I should have known. I should have known. It's not his fault, actually. It's more my fault. I should never. It was a person I thought was a friend, but really we were acquaintances. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying like, we weren't friends, but I would see him sometimes in Italy, and we'd have a drink or whatever, and a couple times we had dinner. But we didn't know each other well enough, and I just thought, I'll invite him to Turkey. He'll probably say no anyway. And but sure enough, he was into it, and by the end of it, it was a mess. But your best bet, if it's an adventure trip like that, where you're getting very little sleep and you're up at dark 30 every day, and you're traveling 500 miles a day, and it's exhausting, and you're tunneling and all sorts of stuff like that, probably your best bet is to not bring a friend, but make friends while you're there. Finally catching you live again. Work has been ball breaking lately. Yeah, I hear you. I had to do 2 articles today, plus a chapter of my new Chase Baker book, and the beginning of another article. So yeah, it's been one of those days. Yes, it has been ball breaking, but that's what it's all about. We love it, don't we, Big Philly? All right, so that's my take on relationships and at the end of 2022. Hopefully 2023 will be a little bit better. If not, it is what it is. I'm doing what I want to do with my life, so we'll see. All right, you guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.